and second chances in life are exceedingly important, and maybe sometimes even a third chance. Her Honor's commitment to all forms of social justice and peace are so unending that even I could not cover them all in one evening. It is amazing that someone can do so many profound things from a seat of authority with such humility and yet have such a profound impact on our community. That is why it is my privilege to present the St. Joseph Award to Her Honor, Judge Mary True.
First of all, I'm not used to getting awards, period, but getting one from a religious award is especially profound for me. It occurred to me that law and religion are usually at odds, and it's kind of counterintuitive when you think about it, because both vocations are based on ethics and morals. And it wasn't always that way when you look in just the recent past, when you think about the great lawyer and then Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall and Brown versus Board of Education, coupled with the work of Reverend Martin Luther King and the role of the church in the civil rights movement. And so the two vocations or disciplines, or whatever you want to call them, have a perfect nexus, and when they work together as a team, they're unbeatable. And my pledge when I was sworn in was that I would do my very best to work towards social justice. That's what I did as a lawyer, and that's what I intend to keep doing as a judge. And I do feel that it's a calling more than a job, and I'm very privileged to do it every day, and I absolutely love it. And I'm very pleased to receive this award of recognition. Thank you very much.
I'd like to begin this presentation by giving you the punchline to a joke. The Synoptic Gospels. The Synoptics are a book in which the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are written in comparison. It shows us which gospel writers, what topics that they wrote, what they emphasized in comparison to the other three. Okay, so we're all set with that. I received a phone call a number of years back on one of those Sunday afternoons that I just wanted to put my feet up and rest. There was a great John Wayne movie on called The Hellfighters. I was enjoying myself tremendously, and the phone rang. It was a young priest who was looking for a new jurisdiction, wanted to be a candidate for incardination. And by that time, I had been fairly well around the block enough times that there is sort of a verbal shorthand that we in the clerical community have. Those of us who have gone through academic formation were able to speak in a certain professional manner. This young man was going on and on and on. Not like I do, but on and on and on. And I wanted to sort of cut to the chase. And I asked this young man, I said, Father, when you prepare your sermons, how often do you reference the synoptics? And there was this long, interminable pause. To which the young man said, "Oh, Bishop, I never listen to CD music when I do my sermons." It was that phone call that made me realize that the status of academic formation for priests and deacons in the autocephalous Catholic movement was sorely in need of improvement. And our community had looked at a number, and we were encouraged by a lot of talk, but the follow-through was very, very anemic. And somehow, and I don't know how it happened, but thank goodness for the gift of the internet, that I learned of this program called St. John the Evangelist Seminary. I thought, all right, what's this one about? And then I began to learn, and I began to see what they were offering, and my God reminded me what I'd studied, the same basic curriculum that I had at Kenrick Seminary. I thought, gee, if these people are half as true to what they are at least putting out on the internet, maybe we have hope for our up-and-coming clergy. Then the first person I met, I began talking to was Bishop Douglas Prania, who began with much confidence in talking about the seminary program. A few years back, the bishop was our guest speaker at one of our previous dinners, and I sat back there thinking that maybe, just maybe, the opportunity now is there for us. And we now realize it is, which is part of the reason for the concordant that we signed today. The people of God deserve the best educated and the best prepared people who stand before them. I have often said in the state of Illinois, if you sit in a barber's chair, you are required to see the license of the barber or the beautician. Someone comes out dressed like this, the assumption is that he or she must know what they're talking about, and I can tell you there have been a number of occasions which I have cringed terribly. There is now, I have been waiting for the time in which our future can be better ensured. And with the presence of St. John the Evangelist Seminary being a reality and our community being part of it, I can now look people in the face and say, the priest or deacon whom you will be getting does know the difference between a doorknob and the synoptics. It is with not only professional but great personal admiration that I have the honor to share with my colleagues and my brothers in Christ the St. Joseph the Worker Award to Archbishop James Long and Bishop Douglas Prania of St. John the Evangelist Seminary.
Give it to the boss.
Okay.
It is very short. I'm not as long-winded as Bishop Prania. It's actually good to kind of be home. I went to Loyola University, and so it's alumni. It's just really, really nice to visit. And then tomorrow I'll be visiting Manawai. So I'm really excited about visiting the graduate school as well. So it's, and I'm humbled, really humbled to share this moment with public defenders who I served as a chaplain for the prison ministry and judges, and even more so for police. Served as a chaplain for the police department, and we were called on many cases. And so it's a humbling experience for me to share this moment with you, especially police officers. So as a priest, more than anyone, thank you guys for the service that you do, because it's a very thankless job. So Bishop Doug, if you want to talk a little more about the seminary.
kicker is this. Recently there was one of my confreres, wearing one of these guys, came out and said that the church is 200 years behind the times. And I sat there shaking my head, and all that I wanted to say was, bull. It is 1700 years behind the times. It is founded on the basis of Constantinople. Constantine, I don't know if y'all know, but he's been gone a little while, even longer than 200 years. What does this mean? What this means is things need to change. Things need to grow. We need to find out. Our job is to serve. This silly little tongue depressor is nothing other than a symbol, as you said, Bishop, of trust, saying you can trust this guy and what he has to say. The problem is that today, most laity are far better educated than the clergy. I'm sure every one of us, if you've gone to church, if you've not gone to church, you've heard somebody speaking that says, dude doesn't know what he's talking about. What is it that brings us together, Your Honor? You put it beautifully. You put it absolutely beautifully. It doesn't matter what your vocation is, whether you're a judge, whether you're a priest. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a barber. How many of us go to counseling? Well, not me, obviously, but how many of us go to counseling to our barber? There's somebody who sits there and knows when to shut up and listen. Probably don't care what you're saying, but the point is, there is an opportunity to move and to grow. What we think has been lacking in formation is not, you don't need just the basis of Constantinople. You need spiritual, academic, religious formation, but what's missing? Human formation. One of the first times that I spoke with one of my brethren after I was ordained, he was shocked in that he was slapped by a woman in an emergency room who just lost her 2-year-old child. She asked him, why? To my mind, that's your cue to shut up.